Hello, and welcome to the Notary Life with Kimmi Podcast. I am also one of the trainers with Notary Educators, which includes myself, Kimberly Nunnally, Angela Johnson, and Alexis Franklin. We each own our own very successful notary businesses and teach notaries in all 50 states to be great and grow their own business. We will discuss general notary work, apostilles, ink fingerprinting, and the duties of a notary signing agent, and much, much more. For all of your notary needs, please visit notaryeducatorsllc.com. We hope you enjoy the show, and we wish you much success. Hello, and welcome to the Philly. And I am here today with Angela from AJ Mobile Notary Services, Alexis from Mobile Notary Services by Alexis. And it is our pleasure to answer all your questions today for Notary Mentor Mondays. So you ladies can say hello, and then we'll let Angela tell her weekly story. What happened in those notary streets?
How you guys? Welcome. We're so glad to have you guys here tonight.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Go ahead and drop those questions so we can get started.
Yes. Hey, Debbie. Welcome. And everyone else on the replay, Stephanie, and everybody else. So we'll get started with Angela Chronicles from the Notary Streets. Hey, Pamela J.
So I got a really, really short story, but one good story. Both of them good stories. The first story is I have a question, and you can drop it in the chat just for purposes of us seeing the answer. How far would you travel to do a notary job? Some people may say, oh, that's 2 hours. I'm not going that far. Or that's 3 hours. I'm not going that far. So I had traveled this week to a notary job, and round trip, it was 4 hours. But I have to tell you that after asking many of questions, as Kim always say, questions equal money. After asking many questions, my travel fee, they accepted it. And when I got there, I was very patient with the signer, who was an older lady. And she was kind of sick, but I was very patient with her and the family and explained the notary process. And when I left, she gave me a $150 tip plus my travel fee. So think about how far would you travel to do a notary. So it can be well worth the travel time. And that's all I did that day because I had made my money for the day, plus the next day and the next day. So that's all I have to say about that.
So Angela did take that job. They actually had called me first, and I was unable to do it. So I passed it on to Angela. And I was like, if I had knew it was the next day, I would have did it myself.
You did say that.
But it's all good. So we kept it in the notary family here in Atlanta. So somebody got to make that money. And I was so impressed by what tips she received too. And the day before that, I called Angela to be a witness for me. I met a guy at the FedEx, and he was so appreciative. He actually gave me a $75 tip. Aww. $75. I could not believe it. That was the biggest tip I had ever seen. And then Angela trumped that by 2 times. So there is money out there, and people are willing to pay for good service. That's why we always stress service. Hey, Miss Champagne, Erica, Brandy, Debbie.
Speaking of good service, so we always tell you guys how important it is to be a good notary, to know what you're doing, and to get the necessary training. So I have a client that I had done a real estate document for probably about 2.5 weeks ago. So he called me back the second time, but when he called me back, I wasn't able to get to him that day, and he needed it done that day. So he called another notary. A week later, he texted me back, which was just a couple of days ago, and asked me if I was available at 10 o'clock to come and do a notary job for a real estate transaction. And I did. And I asked him what happened. And he said the notary that came to do the job that I couldn't do messed up his paperwork, and he had to have every piece of paper re-signed. So that's why we tell you guys not to just go out and just start stamping documents just because you got your notary commission, how important it is to get trained. Because that man ended up, I don't know what the backstory of it was, but he ended up a week and a half later getting his documents signed. And real estate documents are time sensitive. They're date sensitive. You know, if the interest rate could change, a lot of things could happen. And then I found out the other good part of that is that he's a real estate investor. And so because he's a real estate investor, I gave him a discount on that particular job because I told him, being that you're the real estate investor, means you're going to have a good relationship in the future. So he smiled and shook his head. So it's very important to know what you're doing when you're out notarizing people's documents.
Angela, like, you stuck with me whether or not you want to be or not.
I'm giving you this discount, so you better call me next time. But I know he's going to call me next time because the other person messed up. So
Right. So you already stand out from the other notary. Well, let's say hey to a few more people, and I got a little quick story too, guys. So we got Devonna, hey Champagne, Erica, Brandy, Debbie. She likes to shop is back. Hey Yvonne.
Hey.
All things Natter Jane in the house. Let's see who else. Down South Notaries. Hey Miss CC. Thank you for purchasing the book, A Mobile Notary, and welcome. And hey, Cynthia, Stephanie, and Dorisa, and whoever is joining us after the fact. Welcome to Notary Life with Kimmi, along with the Notary Educator. So my story, guys, is learn from me. I have, for about maybe 4 different transactions now, I tell you no lie, accepted a Cash App, and I went home later to look, and I had not been paid. Why? Because when you're doing Cash App, it's like a 3-step process sometimes. If they're not in your contacts, they have to hit confirm that they know the person, then it'll pop up, and then it'll be another screen that they have to hit OK. So unfortunately, I saw that it went through. I thought it did, and 3 or 4 times it did not go through. So one lady, I texted her later and I said, hey, can you check on your end to see if that payment went through? So she was super cool. And we've been in there, by this point, I've been in their home. I know where you live at, or excuse me, something. So you're going to tell me, I need to know if you got my money or not. So she was honest, and it did not go through on her end. She said, I'll send it right now. So what I want you guys to learn from that is always check before you leave. Because I've never had anyone not pay me, but that's a terrible feeling when you get home and then you got to go back to the client and ask about your money. When I leave, I like it to be done with them. I don't want them calling me about nothing, that I made a mistake. And I definitely want to be calling saying, can I get my money? That just doesn't look right. So learn from me. Always double check that they did the final step, and check your phone to make sure it came through. Okay. Especially your Cash App payments. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's all I got for you. So let's see what questions we have. Did you want to share anything, Alexis? You have anything happen this week?
I'll wait until we talk a little bit. Okay. I know something.
So let's get started with some questions. We'll start with Stephanie. She says, so how do you go about getting your W-9 EIN number? Angela, you want to handle that?
Well, the EIN number is very easy to get. You can just go on the IRS website. And it takes literally like 5 minutes to do it. Just go to the section where it says EIN. Is that what it says?
Yes.
EIN, yeah. And just type your information. It literally takes you just a few minutes to do that. And to get your W-9 number, well, your EIN number would go on a W-9 when somebody requests your W-9. But if a company requests your W-9, you would make sure that you put your company name with your EIN number on it.
Right. So the W-9 is the tax form where they're confirming for independent contractors your social security number or your EIN number. Mm-hmm. And do not pay for the EIN number. That is completely free, but it's a lot of websites that will make you think you have to pay for that. And if the website ends in .gov. So if anything else, don't pay any money. That is completely free. And one more thing about the EIN number. I do not want that to stop you from starting your business. Some people say, well, I got to have my EIN number. I have to have my LLC. I have to have business credit. None of those things are necessary to get started. Mm-hmm. None of them. I have videos on each category. You can check that out. Okay. So none of that's necessary. Let's get started. You want to add anything, Alexis?
Yeah, just what you said. Don't pay for anything. Because when I was first looking it up, I didn't have, I was just looking up something and I almost did. And then 2, with the W-9, I have seen a couple places where it's asks you to pay for something. Remember, you can just go on there, print the W-9 off, fill it out, and then scan it back into your computer. So don't pay for it.
And that's also a free form. You do not have to pay for that, okay?
And it literally does not take that long to fill out the thing to get your W-9. Really, don't be afraid to do it because it really takes minutes to do it.
Yeah, it's online. Just Google W-9, blank W-9, fill it out. You're going to use that for every signing company you sign up with. Until you get your EIN, you'll be using your social. Once you get your EIN, that's what you'll be using on that W-9, okay? And every signing company usually asks for that. Mm-hmm. Ms. Debbie says, when you do general notary work for signing services, is that the name that they print differently on their driver's license? Do you have them sign the document the same way it's printed or not? So if I'm understanding the question correctly, does the driver's license and the document signature have to match? People change their signature all day long. So if it's a variation, it's fine. If the document actually says Debbie L. Brown, they need to sign it Debbie L. Brown. Okay, you can't just put Debbie Brown. There's going to be an error on your part as a notary. You're going to have to go back out there and get that middle initial added to it. Anything else you want to add, Angela or Alexis?
Just that whatever the signing company service has on their document, that's the way they should print their name on it, no matter what other documents have. Because if you sign it differently than what the signing services have on there, then they could kick it back. Most likely they are going to kick it back. A lot of times they will kick it back if you don't sign it exactly like the name is on the paperwork.
And you're going back out there for an initial. If they missed an initial is WLB, and they put W and then put that L in there some kind of way they could see it, they will send you back out for an initial. So you want to make sure everything is right. You want to add anything, Alexis?
Nope.
Okay. Hey, Deidre. Hey, Celeste. We'll keep going. So Notary Needs says, do you have a video on notarial certificates and wording? I've seen so many documents from UPS and courthouse this week where it is one-liners or other verbiage. So that's just it, Notary Needs. You never know what you're going to find out there. It's just like Forrest Gump. You never know what you're going to get in that box of chocolate. Mm-hmm. So same thing with notarial wording. You never know. It's going to be different on every document. That's why I don't teach document training. I want you just to know what to do when you get the document. So the answer to your question is I don't have a video on certificates. I would check the NNA though, but I don't think I have one on actual wording, but there are a lot of them out there. But again, you don't want to learn to memorize the document. You need to know what to do if somebody gives you an acknowledgement, a jurat, or if you have to administer an oath. And if you need a little help with that, check out our website, notaryeducatorsllc.com, okay? Because you don't want to guess out there. Back to Angela's story, if you were not here in the beginning. What did you say, Angela? The other notary messed up everything. You had to do a redo.
Yep, she messed up every single document. I had to do a redo.
So you need to know what you're doing out there. You got to know how to stamp that document. That's most important. Want to add anything, Alexis?
Yeah, as far as verbiage goes, too, just keep. My little trick is just keep reading the document over and over. Well, the notarial certificate, just keep reading it over and over. It might take me 5 times until I'm like, oh, okay, this goes here, this goes here. But if you keep reading it and plugging in different information like that goes on a notarial certificate, it'll start to make sense. You can kind of piece it together.
Yeah, so, and they're all usually about the same. Usually about the same. I acknowledge such and such before me or the jurat, but you still need to know what you're doing out there. You can't just guess. So we always teach, take a few minutes when you get to that assignment, general notary or loan signing, you are looking at your document. Do not just get there and start stamping and writing on somebody's paper. Because sometimes they don't even have an extra copy and now we've messed it up. Now what? That's not a good look.
Not a good look.
Okay. So she likes to shop, says, do you have any ideas on how to write a business plan? Ladies, either one of you?
I actually took that course in college a long, long time ago. But we don't have a course on writing a business plan. But I do have like a 5-step thing on my IG about how to start your business and things that you need to think about. But no, we don't have a video on writing a business plan. Maybe you need to do a video, Kim.
I'll write that down. I think you remind me, guys.
You can go on Google, type in business plan. They have so many different like forms and stuff where you can, it's like blank forms and it says like different ideas, your name, what you need. So I know I found one that was like 5 pages and it was very detailed. It gives you room to write out different things. So you can Google a business plan, a structure, a blank structure.
And I'll give you a couple tips right now. She likes to shop. So as far as your business plan, you want to make sure how you setting up your business checking account. Do you have a business checking account? Your name, are you going to be an LLC? Are you going to be a sole proprietor? What is your business structure going to be? Then you want to write down your expenses to make sure you're profitable. What jobs do you want to take? Do you want to do general notary work? What part of the business do you want to focus on? If that's everything, you need a proper accounting. I use Notary Gadget. The ladies do also. That's how we keep up with our money, because you making money sometimes. You don't know where it's going. You don't know who's paid you, who's not. So you want to make sure you know where your money's coming in. How are you going to collect payments for your business? As far as collecting for your general notary, what does that look like? How am I going to collect my payments? So I actually am working on something. We don't have a course yet, but it's in the works about how to actually structure your business overall. Because a lot of times as notaries, we're not trained that. Like Angela said, she took something. I took a lot of business stuff in school, and I just have a business head. But for most of us, we've never been taught how to build a business. So we treat the notary business like a side hustle, but it can actually be a business, and you really need to give an accounting for everything you make. And when you go to buy a house or whatever, they looking back 2 years. So you need to be able to show the money. So it's a few things involved in that. That's a great question, though. So I hope that gave you a few things to think about as far as a business plan. So DJS says, hey, ladies, I finally caught a live. Welcome. Is there a universal single status affidavit? So and we're in the state of Georgia, and we teach all states. So your state probably has a single affidavit form, but I go right to my Georgia website and I download the single status affidavit. And for those of you who don't know why you would need that, if someone's getting married like over in Mexico, like a destination wedding, they have to prove that they don't have a wife over here. You've seen those movies on Lifetime, right? They got 5 wives. So there's an actual single person affidavit. So before they can get married out the country, you got to say, I have no other wife. Okay. Or you're divorced or widowed or whatever. Right. Okay. Stephanie just says, hey, thanks. Hey, Linda. So Long Island. Hey, Linda, welcome. Hellos, a few hellos. Hey, out there. Let's see, Maryland. So we got Newbie from New Jersey. It's Seal Ray 2002. She said, Newbie just received my stamp today. Looking forward to GNW. So any tips on that for her, Angela?
Well, congratulations, Seal Ray. So you just got your stamp. You ready to start general notary work? And I don't know if you heard my story earlier as we started. So make sure you get the proper training before you start your general notary work. Make sure you have insurance before you stamp any documents. And the other person mentioned a business plan. That's very important. I wrote out my business plan when I first started doing notary work. So do those things. But the most important thing is to get some training. Once you get training and you're not afraid to go out and start doing your notary, then everything else will fall in place, because you should have your supplies. And really, am I getting like an echo?
I think it was something at Alexis's home.
Oh, okay. So once you get your training and set up your business plan and you have your supplies, which is part of your business plan, you'll be ready to go. But congratulations and welcome to the notary world.
Yes, just learn how to stamp those papers before you start doing anything. So Notary Niece said, oh, go ahead, Alexis, you have something?
Yeah, I was going to say, make sure you have a plan as far as marketing. Okay, you're a notary, so how are people going to find you? So just write down some ideas as far as what you're going to do in your community to market yourself as a notary. Make sure you have like your Google page, any social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever social media you like to use. Make sure you have those business cards ready to give out, any t-shirts, hats, bags, pins, anything you want to do. Get creative with it and get out there in your community and market yourself.
And that goes back to part of the plan too. I love that business plan. That goes part of your marketing. So Notary Need says, okay, I just added loose certificates. Yes, so put those in your notary bag. As far as if you don't have loose certificates and your state allows it, you can use an acknowledgement stamp, or you can use a jurat stamp. Those are sold at Amazon. I have them on my website. You can click there to see the notary list that we recommend. Because a lot of times I always go to this example. You've been out, overnight, whatever. And now me and Alexis want to do a deal together, and I loan her $500. And I say, but we're going to write this up on a napkin. We just left, hanging out or whatever. And me and her write it up on a napkin, and we call the notary and say, hey, we need you to notarize this. Well, Angela is going to look at the napkin and say, well, there's no notarial wording. Now what do I do? So she has to make some decisions. So you got a couple of different ways you can handle that. You can add the jurat or acknowledgement from your state's website, the paper, or you can use a stamp. if your state permits. Okay. So, hey, Danielle, she's just saying, hey. So, Linda says, oh, yes, the website Notary Educators is extremely helpful. Been watching YouTube for a few weeks, waiting for her stamp. Congratulations, Linda. And she did buy the Notarize Like a Pro. Thank you. I hope it's helping you. We appreciate it. And then everyone else is good evening. Let's see. She likes to shop. Said, yeah, I had a question for business pricing, forecasting, 5 years financial forecast. She likes to shop. I do not think 5 years ahead. I respect that, girl. You got this. I do not think that far ahead. I'm more like maybe I'm not even a 6 month kind of person, but it's really good to have goals. I kind of fly like maybe a weekly kind of person.
But one thing about the notary business, like Kim said, that's good. But one thing about the notary business, it's going to stay stable. Your pricing is not going to fluctuate. I don't think that much over the 2-3 year period. It's going to be really stable. And since you dictate your pricing and are reasonable, your pricing is going to be like, about stay the same or.
And it's funny because right now we hear everybody saying that the pricing of loan signing jobs are going down. And that is true. I have seen that too. But the main reason it's going down is not because there's so many notaries. The pricing is going down for loan signing, quite frankly, because we as notaries are not knowing what we're doing when we get out there. So they have to pay me to go do it. I messed it up. Now they got to pay Angela to go do it. We pray she's a better notary. And then maybe she messed it up. Now they got to send Alexis out there. So they sending 3 different notaries to handle one assignment. Whereas if I went out there knowing what I was doing like a boss, and they don't have to send everybody else. They can give me all that money, but they got to save some of the money in case notary A messed it up. Now they got to send B. Now, just in case she ain't no good, now they got to send out another one. So you see why the fees are going down. It's not necessarily that it's an influx of notaries, which there are more than there were last week for sure, right? But the main reason is a lack of training. So they got to make that money up somewhere. They have to. Any other comments on that, ladies?
No.
Have you seen a price reduction in fees?
Well, for me, no.
Yeah, I haven't.
Well, that's because you know what you're doing. But
actually, we
let me rephrase that, Angela. Let me rephrase that. And some of the offers that you see coming through, not maybe
because I turned down probably about 6 offers this week.
That's my question. Yeah, not necessarily people who you work with, your companies, but just generic signings. When you see them come across your screen, are they less than they were last year?
Even they are less. Even some of the ones that I know they send them to me directly, because even today I looked at one. I'm like, I'm not doing that. An hour later, I looked at it. And I'm like, oh, they sent that to me, and so I didn't take it, but it was less. And I'm like, I'm not going out for that much. So
right. So the loan signing business is changing, and it's not, like I said, it's not because it's just so many notaries. It's the quality of work that these signing companies are receiving, and that's just real talk. So the better that we get as becoming notaries, and they can keep more of the profit, and they ain't got to pay 3 notaries to go out to do one job, then we gonna win. But as long as we don't know what we're doing, and we don't, we just stamp willy-nilly, then it's gonna continue to go down. So you make your own way in this market by doing your general notary work. You price and you do a good job. Because even if you have your own general notary business and you go out there and you do terrible work, they won't call you.
Right, they won't.
So your business is going to be affected. So you got to know what you're doing. That's why we so big and passionate about knowing how to stamp that paper.
And except for one of the companies that call me frequently, like weekly almost, they called me twice last week, and I was like, they're like, this your rate? I'm like, I'm going to need a little bit more than that. Then they was like, how much? And I told them, they was like, okay.
So you can push back if you know you're a good notary. You don't have to take those little, you don't have to. But if you know you got a little room to, you're working on some stuff, real talk, you might go ahead and take the smaller price jobs so you can get some experience, because that's what they're paying you to get experience, right?
Right. And the only reason I did that because it was a little further out than they normally send me to.
All right. So we're gonna skip down to Sil Ray. Thanks for sharing that, Angela. So do I need $1 million E&O insurance? You do not need $1 million. If that makes you sleep at night, you can get $1 million. I have $25,000. It has served me well. The ladies, if you don't mind sharing what you have.
Same.
Alexis.
Yeah, I have the same. But just keep in mind, I always tell people, I don't know how big I don't know what you plan on doing in your business or how big you're planning on scaling it, but do what you're comfortable with as far as what your business would need. As a local notary, you might not need $1 million policy, but if you're doing something with like commercial properties or something, where a lot of money is involved, then you might want to get $1 million. So just kind of look at what your business, what your plan is, and kind of go from there. But I don't have that. I have 25,000.
That's true. And if you're going to be a loan signing company, you're going to need that $1 million mark because again, now you got to be responsible for me, Angela, and Alexis. When we go out there messing up stuff, they're going to come back to you, Seal Ray, and say, hey, somebody got to pay me because my loan didn't close today. And now my interest rate is going up, or I lost that property. So now, so you see why you need insurance if you're going to be a signing company, okay? You got to make sure you cover everything. So Danielle says, hey, I have something to say about what happened to me today. So she went to do a fingerprint for a family friend that was in a daycare. I did the fingerprint and I called her to find out what. Give us some more information about that, Danielle, because I don't understand the question.
I think it was too long. Here it is at the bottom.
To do the cards, and she did not know either. The state website says that Texas uses identical, maybe misspelled. I advised her to do the same, but I want her to make sure she is straight. So with the fingerprinting, identical is electronic. So do you have an electronic machine like live scan or identical, Danielle? If not, ink fingerprinting is when you roll it the old fashioned way. That's a service also, but it's two different ways of fingerprinting, either the ink or the electronic. So both depends on what they need it for. Some people have to go the electronic way. Some people need the ink way. So I do have a mini course on the ink fingerprinting, how you can add that to be part of your business. And I also have a free video about ink fingerprinting also. So I hope that helps you. Let us know if it does not. So DJS says, for some reason, I just can't get with social media. I'm going to get my son to help me. Any tips on that, Alexis?
Yeah, with social media, go on YouTube and look up different things about Instagram. So I don't know which social media platform you want to get on. But if you want to get on Instagram and you're trying to learn how to do different things, go on YouTube. YouTube is amazing. And like different stories, how to do reels, how to post pictures. It's going, if you don't really know what to do, it's going to take some time you setting aside to actually learn everything about social media, how to use hashtags and all different types of stuff. So get on YouTube. YouTube is the best thing ever.
And you would not believe, but I had no social media until June of last year. I had zero. I didn't have Facebook, guys. So now I have YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all of that. And of course, as I always say, I'm not, even Facebook. So I'm not afraid of the camera. I get nervous at times, of course, but I like to talk to people, and that's just my natural whatever. But I did, like Alexis said, I YouTubing so I can know how to learn how to do it, how to get the numbers. Everything you need to learn is right there, and just start small. So I started with one thing, which was YouTube. Then I'm going to focus the next couple months on, now we're going to use the plan back from She Likes to Shop. Now I have a plan. So this is my business plan. This is what I did actually. So I did a couple months of learning YouTube, everything there's to know about YouTube, everything. Then I took another couple months and I learned all about Instagram. I'm still not a perfectionist with it by a long shot, but I can get on there and make some stuff happen. TikTok. I don't have to get on there and show my whole body and do all that, but I learned to do a little fun things that can get people to watch what I'm talking about. So just baby step it and don't learn it all in one day, and then just keep adding to what you're doing. Anything on that, Angela? Because I know you're starting to do more too.
Yeah, my daughter, she's like knows all that stuff. She's a young person. My advice is to get a young person like you're doing, who know what they're doing, to help you with the social media. And then once you really learn it and get into it, it'll become natural, become easy. Then you'll hopefully enjoy doing it.
Yeah, make sure it's fun, because if you're doing it because you have to or something, it won't be fun. A lot of times, matter of fact, if I don't feel like it, I won't film. And when I do film and I don't feel like it, Jeffrey, who helps me with my videos, he knows it, because I have a whole lot of outtakes. A lot of my videos might be choppier. And you guys can probably even see it too when I'm really like in my zone about a topic versus a lot of cuts. So if I'm not really feeling it, I don't do it. That's the new rule for me because I'm like, oh, I got to get a video out. No, I ain't feeling it. It'll be next week or whenever. So make sure you're really in the mood. And then when you put your hair on and put a little something on, it make you feel better too. So that's why I always got a flower. They make me feel better. So. And my mother used to be like, girl, where your lips at? If I ain't put on some lipstick. So I usually put on some lipstick when I'm filming or doing anything. It just makes me feel better. So, okay. I don't like to look like I just rolled out the bed on anything I do. I might do that around here, but I ain't going on TV looking like that. So let's see. Seal Ray says, can I open a business account with just an EIN number? Nowadays, in my experience, I had to have my corporation papers also because I'm a joint LLC and I had to have proof of that. So I had to have the LLC document. I had to have my EIN number and I think that was it. But they want some articles of incorporation. That's what they want. Okay. Angela or Alexis, do you remember what you had to do?
I mean, I've had my LLC for a long time and I just incorporated my notary business in it because I had another business. So, but I do remember that they did ask me for my corporation papers and my EIN number.
Anything you want to add, Alexis?
Yeah, when I started my business bank account, all I needed was my social because of how it was in the beginning. I didn't have everything yet. So I just opened my business account.
Yeah, so you can do it as a sole proprietorship with your social. They may allow that too. They may, but if you're using a business name, then that's when everything really got to get everything has to match. So like my business name is None Better Mobile Notary. I can't just walk in here and open it under Kimberly. I have to use everything in that business name so that all your ducks got to match up. Everything got to line up with that. So let's move on to DJS. DJS says, how do you feel about getting calls for general notary work for loan signing docs? I love it.
Love it.
Love it. Why? Why, Angela? Why do we love getting loan signing from general notary calls?
I get them literally 5 or 6 times a week. I had one today, as a matter of fact. And I love it because you're not dealing with the company. You don't have to have scan backs. You don't have to print the documents out. You don't have to call and make no appointment. It's just like general notary work, except for you're doing the loan documents, a loan modification or whatever. So I love it because I don't have to do anything but notarize the documents, tell them where to sign, and hand me my cash or my Zelle or my Square or whatever.
Yes, I love it too because it's already printed. I don't even have to print anything. I just show up. Matter of fact, I got one tomorrow night at 7:30. I'm like Angela, I get those calls all day long. So you can charge a little bit more. And again, you don't have to do any printing. You just show up. So on your general notary that we're talking about at DJS, I would put on there what packages you do, seller's packages, loan modifications, whatever it is that you know how to do. I would add that to your Google My Business page. Alexis, you want to add anything about that?
Yeah. So my favorite thing is you can establish relationships with people, different companies, depending on who calls you, but you just never know. If the person might call you, but it might be a third party, like their attorney or somebody dealing with, in real estate. So most of the time I get general notary work on loan signing documents. It's a third party person calling me. So that's a great way for me to establish a relationship. You never know what future documents they might need. So I love it. Yeah, that's my favorite.
True. Yes.
I like that, Alexis, because I have like 4 repeat customers that when they first called me, I didn't know it, but they like own property in other states.
Yeah.
And I got 2 real estate investors. I didn't know they were real estate investors. And I did an amazing job. So I'm their notary. That now they don't even call. They just text, Angela, I have some more documents. Are you available tomorrow at 10? I had a lady text me today. Are you available sometime today? I said, you just tell me when. So she called me. She said, Angela, I'm sorry. The bank don't have my documents ready. Can I call you? I said, just let me know when you're ready. So you don't know who you're notarizing documents for.
You don't.
And one more thing, DJS, about that general notary work for loan signing. A lot of times they will ask you as the notary, can you have the client email the document to you and you print it? So it feels like a loan signing assignment, and that's okay because I'm charging more. I cut out the middleman, right? So I will print the document. So the one like I have for tomorrow night, I don't have to print. But I do have another one, like Angela says, they're a repeat client. He has property in Florida. So his lender will send the documents to me. I print them and I go and meet him. So I love those kind of jobs. And I don't mind printing because I already have all my stuff set up because I do loan signing too. So if you don't have a printer, then you wouldn't be able to print for them. But that still wouldn't hinder the job. But if you can print once you get your loan signing stuff set up, I love those jobs. And I don't mind printing either because they usually be less than 100 pages. Okay, good. So let's go on. Oh, anything else?
No, I was just looking at Danielle's. Go ahead, Danielle's comment.
So Danielle said one more thing. So she said the agency she spoke about last week reached out. So she's going to work with them this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And she's going to take her journal, and she is not hiding it.
Girl, you must have been doing a great job because they called you back.
You sure did. So stand your ground and let them know like you are the preferred notary.
You're not breaking no notary laws. Take that journal with you, girl.
Good. So Marcel just says, hey, Danielle, Alexis, they say you okay?
I am fine. Thank you for asking.
Okay, cool. So Curtis is saying, hey, ladies, I'm in Smyrna, Georgia, and let's see, I am starting my own courier service and will add mobile notary service. I'm taking the test this month and hope to get started next month. I can't wait. Yes, Curtis, congratulations.
Congratulations.
And that is something else you could think about adding to your Google My Business. If you don't mind picking up a package and taking it somewhere for someone, now be careful what you're shipping now. Be careful. But if it's just a document, if it's just a regular document, or because I had that happen one time. I had to print a divorce document. This guy was in South Carolina. He was divorcing someone here. I had to print it, take it to her, and then he wanted me to also be the courier and take it to FedEx and ship it back to him. And they send me the label for everything. So if you don't mind adding courier service, I would put that on my Google My Business, whatever you don't mind doing, because that's an additional source of income. And actually, Angela has a friend that also serves as a witness for her that just told me if I ever need her to take my apostilles from me down to Atlanta, she will do it for me. So I got to thinking about that. I said, well, if I'm just in a mood, I don't feel like driving down there, I can call her to come and get it, give her a little something, and we still all win. Right. So that's an excellent service to offer. It is. Courier also.
I didn't know I was a courier until I was at a lady called me for a notary. She called me for a notary. I notarized her power of attorney for her real estate documents. And she was like, oh man, I got to take this down there. I'm like, what do you have to take this to my attorney's office? I said, well, I'm a courier also. I can take it for you. She paid me $40 to go 8 miles down the road, and I sure did take it. And she was very appreciative. She's like, are you sure? I'm like, I provide courier services too, That was my first time, but I did it.
So we all know Angela don't play about her money, right? So I offer that same service. I am a courier, and I ain't getting nothing. Because I just say, oh, I'm going to FedEx anyway. Would you like me to take it for you? Instead of trying to add a little fee on there, But again, sometimes I think volume, I think repeat business, and not that Angela doesn't, but we just all do stuff a little differently. Right. So yes, add courier service too. You want to add anything about that, Alexis?
No, you're all covered.
All right. Very good. So Sil Ray says she's not interested in loan signing. Okay. Tell us why you're not. We're just curious, okay? I'm just curious. Let me know. So Cece says, how long have each of you had your notary businesses? You want to go, Angela?
So I've only had my business for 1.5 years, but I've been notarizing documents for about 30 years. But the actual business, and for another day, I'll tell you how I started. But I've only been doing notary business for like 1.5 years.
You can give them the short version.
The short version is that me and Kim have been knowing each other for a really long time. And I happened to call her because I needed something. And we were just chit-chatting, catching up. And I'm like, what have you been doing these days? She's like, girl, I'm doing this notary business. And I'm da-da-da-da. I said, oh, I'm a notary. But I wasn't interested in like no business. And so we would just talk back and forth over the next couple of months. And, I'm trying to get Kim not to be doing things that she shouldn't be, like charging them. This is not the real number, but charging them $5 when she should be charging them $15. I'm like, girl, you better do that. And so Kim got really busy. And she's like, Angela, can you please go and do this notary for me? And, so that's how I just said, well, I may as well just get my own business too, because Kim got overwhelmed with a lot of customers and couldn't go to customers. And she wanted to make sure that her customers were taken care of. And so we know each other. She trusted me. So I started doing her extra customers. And I'm like, I may as well go and do this myself.
And then what about your loan signing piece?
So my loan signing piece, I really did not want to do loan signing. I was like, who that is? I was like Sil Ray. I wasn't interested in no loan signing, even though I had worked for attorneys doing mortgage compliance stuff for like 8 years. So I knew all about loans and documents, and Miss Kim convinced me. She kept saying, Angela, go ahead and get certified with NNA. Good. I'm like, Kim, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So Kim talked me into doing that. So I did it. And so I do notary loan signings and I do general notary work.
And I am so blessed to have her, and we work together, and we say that all the time because we balance each other out very nicely. And Angela's like 6 or 7 miles down the road. So she has her own successful business. I have my own successful business. We are able to share business together. We've done our apostilles together. We train together. So it's been a very blessed relationship. Alexis, you want to tell a little bit about your journey?
Yeah. So I've had my business. Let me say this. I've had my business for about 1.5 years. With me being serious, maybe like a year. My journey was kind of similar to Angela's. Long story short, I've been talking to Kimmi since she started her business, since the very, very, very beginning. And it was just us having phone calls after phone calls. And she's like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And her telling me what she's been doing and how much money she's making and all the different avenues you can go down. And I'm like, oh, okay. In the back of my head, I'm like, that sounds good. But I was working full time. So I did go ahead and get my commission and everything, but I never used it. So, like I said, just kept on the phone, like Kimmi updated me what's going on and her notary business and things. And then finally I was like, you know what? I'm about to go ahead and do it and get serious. So I started. It took me forever to get into loan signing. I wasn't interested at all either. I was just scared more so dealing with loan documents. And basically I wasn't aware. I wasn't knowledgeable on it. It was just the whole situation was just kind of nerve-wracking because I was at the beginning with Kimmi, so I knew what she was going through and how serious of a situation it was. So it just kind of made me like, I don't want to do that. But then finally, after she started getting real familiar and comfortable and telling me, about her different jobs she was having, I was like, okay, then I think I can do this too then. Then that's when I got serious about loan signing. So overall total, I'll say about like a year. But I have my commission longer than that.
But I'll tell you guys something about Alexis is an amazing loan signing agent.
Thank
you. And
you.
now she just loves it and she does great. And the other thing about Kimmi, what makes me love working with her is Kim is just a great person. Alexis is too, but I work more closely with Kim because we live so close together. She's such a great person. And I think I'm a good person. So I think that's why we are so good the three of us are so good together because we have the same kind of, different personalities, but the same coming together for the same purpose. But I love it when Kim calls me and says, Angela, my customer called me and said, you did a great job and you were so nice, because I'm all about customer service. And so I like that because I know that I'm keeping a good name for Kim. It's very important to me that if she refers somebody to me, it's her customer, it's her client. So when she can't do some of her clients, she said, can you take this client for me? That's her client. So I want to make sure that they're going to still go back to her because her other notary didn't mess up her work. So that's why it's so important to know what you're doing.
Yeah, I actually had something tonight I needed to have done, and I was going to ask Angela to do it. She was going to, and she wasn't able to really. So I called one other notary that I trust, because I don't even trust everyone to send my clients to. I cannot, because like she said, your name is on the line. But we're going to end up doing it tomorrow because it just didn't work out. But I know I can call her. She's going to handle it just like I would. Alexis does the same. I actually messed up one of my first transactions that I did. I did call Alexis because she lives out that way where the person lived, and she went and fixed it for me. So you need a little team around you eventually. As far as me and my business, I started in 2019. I've been a notary off and on for 20 years, but I just started my business in 2019. I ate some pineapple earlier, guys. I have an allergy to pineapple. I
don't know why she keeps doing that.
I have a little tickle in my throat, so that's why I keep doing it. I'm not sick, just for the record. But I had some pineapple. It was so good, though. So I had my business, though, for 3 years. And again, I'm just so blessed to have Alexis and Angela in my life. And I'm pleased that I was able to share this knowledge and help them to grow their businesses. And we all work together.
We do. We really do.
And one more thing too, I know some days, because I got a lot going on right now, but some days I don't want to say I forget, but I don't have that drive in me. And I promise you, I look at my phone and they're sending me a link to send a walk or something. And I'm like, once I watch it, I'm like, okay, let me get up and go do something. So it's good to have people around you that's doing what you are doing and that can share information. And sometimes it just keeps you on track. Like, look, you got a business to do. You got to get up and do it so you can, be successful and do the things you want to do. So I really strongly suggest everybody.
Yeah, I was going to say one more thing about my business too. I baby stepped it. So I did general notary work for a few months. As you guys know, if you read my story, I was scared to death of loan signings. I wouldn't touch it. I kept hearing, you can't do that in Georgia. It's illegal. All this stuff, just all this stuff. So I shied away from it, right? And then finally I said, I was scared of the NSA, the test, notary signing test from the NNA. I was scared of that. It took me 4 times to pass it, y'all. I said, I ain't even doing this. Forget it. And then one day I was like, I will not be defeated. That comes from my father. I'm going to get this if they kill me. So I sat there. I passed it. I was like, woo, woo. So then I became a notary signing agent. So look at my business, y'all. General notary. Then I started doing loan signing. Then I started doing ink fingerprinting. I kept hearing about this ink fingerprinting thing. I said, well, that's a thing. So I started learning about that. I added that. Then I added I-9s. I said, well, what's the I-9? So I researched it, started doing that, added that to my business. And the big mama of them all is apostille. I was scared to death of that. It took me 4 or 5 months. I kept learning it and thinking about it. I said, oh, it sounds so complicated. And y'all know I'm the queen of it's not that complicated, right? So I said, I'm going to learn apostille. So I went ahead, and at the same time I was learning, Angela was learning. So she and I came together.
But we didn't know it though. We didn't know it.
Yeah, we didn't know. We each were learning about it. So we came together on our first one. We split the fee. We got it done. And now Alexis also does apostille. And we getting it done out here, y'all. So you too, whatever area you in, when people call for a notary, they always tell you, I couldn't find one. So if you're a good notary, you know what you're doing, you're about your business, you will have business. Okay. So I know we was on our soapbox there for a minute. So let's keep going.
Somebody put us there though.
So, Cece. So Danielle says I do ink, so she doesn't know where to send the card. So Danielle, if you do ink fingerprinting, the client takes the card back. So you don't have to do anything with it. Once it's rolled and completed, you give it back to them. They take it to whoever it needs to go to with ink fingerprinting. Okay. And I don't do the electronic, so I cannot tell you the process on that completely. I know it's a channeler involved and all this and all that, and you got to upload it. I don't do it, but I know a little bit about it. I only do the ink. And in that case, they take the card back. So yes, Tina Ray says she's in Texas and she does ink and use Identical for channeling. So yeah, she might could drop a little bit more in there, Tina, because I don't do all of that. I keep my business simple. I just collect the money and do the basic. Okay. So Danielle says, can she do some live questions? Danielle, you want to help on the stage with us? Let me know. I'll send you a link and put it in the chat. You want to come on stage and ask your questions? You got a few more? Let's see. Seal Ray says, do you feel registered agent is important? And do you think InkFile is a good place to start? Or is there another way around it? So I'm going to let Angela answer that, and I'm going to tell you what I do. So she's talking about starting her, the registered agent part, Angela, on the LLC. You know how I pay for that?
LLC, usually, I know. Usually when you do an LLC, they ask for a registered agent. I don't pay for a registered agent. My sister is on my registered agent. At least she was, but you can put yourself as your registered agent. The purpose of a registered agent is that if you get any papers or whether it's somebody trying to sue you or somebody want to send you something, they send it to the registered agent. So my sister has a business. So she's my registered agent. I'm her registered agent. My brother's in South Georgia. He has a contracting business. I'm his registered agent. So in essence, you have to put a registered agent on your LLC information with the Secretary of State. Kim pays for it. I keep trying to tell her it's a waste of money. She can pay me $100 to be a registered agent. I'll be a registered agent. Put my address and my name on there. Anybody want me to be a registered agent? I'll just put my name on there, send me $100 or whatever it is.
So I did again do InkFile this year. I love InkFile because they even remind you when your taxes are due. They remind me of everything. So I love me some InkFile. I don't do it on my own yet, but I'm thinking about it for next year because Angela said she can tell me what to do and I can save that $100. But sometimes I feel like, you know what, I work on certain things. I don't feel like being bothered. So that was one of the things I chose to go ahead and pay for. But so yeah, you got options like Angela mentioned. How about you, Alexis? You do LLC yet, or do you do your own? Okay, so I guess I'm the only one. Yeah, I'm gonna work on that because I don't have money like this.
I have a question.
Yes,
I have a question. Yes. How many times has your registered agent sent you any information since you had your registered agent?
I don't get anything. I actually like that. So the reason I signed up with InkFile. Well, look, the reason I signed up with InkFile told me that a lot of times small businesses just get inundated with mail. So I was like, well, I don't want all that mail coming to my house. So that's the main reason I did it. Because I didn't want all the extra
mail have you gotten?
I only get
how much mail has InkFile sent you?
Nothing. It's all electronic. I don't know. Right now, but next year, I probably won't because they're making me feel so bad about it.
She just gave me an idea.
Y'all let me know.
Gave me an idea. I'm gonna start me a business, be registered agent, and get people money.
There you go.
See, that's another business. You see how you talk this thing out, guys? Is wherever there's a need, you could create a business. So Angela about to be y'all registered agent. Let me know if y'all see where somebody want to hop on the stage. Okay, I'll send the link. Okay, let's go to Linda. What are the documents you work most with G&W? Angela, Alexis? Most common is, go ahead.
That's kind of hard for me because
well,
interesting. The most common documents that I get a lot of loan modifications because that sometimes the loan companies or lenders send the documents directly to their clients. I get quite a few power of attorneys. I get just affidavits. It varies really.
Yeah, I get a lot of power of attorneys, school documents, depending on what time of the year it is. Wills. It could be anything. That's the thing with general notary. It really can. And Linda, the one thing we really emphasize and try to teach is know what to do with any piece of paper, any document someone gives you, because it literally could be anything. I had a person the other day needed me to, and I normally try not to be the preparer of a document and the notary on the document, but they needed just a reference letter, basic reference letter that they know Angela for 8 years and notarize it. Okay, fine. I type that, charge a little money for it. But I try not to prepare docs and be the notary as a rule. But again, it was just a one-liner, so okay, fine, whatever. But it could be anything, something as simple as that. So it really could be anything. You want to add anything?
I get quite a few.
Angela.
I was just going to say that I get quite a few DMV motor vehicle documents too.
Yeah, I can't say one particular document, but exactly what you always just said. The living will, power of attorneys, I get a nice chunk of those. Different affidavits for different things. For some reason lately, I will say I've been getting a lot of things dealing with out the country stuff, like people's children. Maybe they need to take their children out of the country.
I think because it's the summertime and people are traveling.
Getting that too.
I've been getting that quite often.
Passport affidavits for children.
Yeah, people are traveling right now, so it's a lot of those documents.
Yeah. It just varies.
Yeah, it could be anything. It really can.
Yeah.
So we just try to prepare you to be ready for whatever document, know what to do with it. So Danielle says her friend did not know what she needed to do or where to send the cards. Yeah, so Danielle, that's not your problem. You're not the fingerprint police. If she don't know what to do with it, that's on her when she paid for it. I mean, I don't know how to advise you on that. And she said she watched the video of me and my mom doing the fingerprinting again and kept watching it before she went on the job. Yeah, I lost my mom, Danielle. That was one of her videos. She did about 3 or 4. I got 1 or 2 more to release with her in it. So yeah, she was part of the team too. So anyway, we got DJ S.
Yes, she was
sole proprietor and EIN. Yeah, you need to be like Angela, and you don't charge enough. I'm going to work for her. So she tried to put a fire under me.
A cheerleader.
She tried to put a fire under me. So then let's see who else we got here. Jamie says, how do you incorporate your notary business into another business? So Jamie, I'm gonna have to push back on that one a little bit because I don't. All my businesses are related to notary, so I just keep adding them under the same umbrella. I don't know if Angela or Alexis has something different for you, but you probably need to talk to your tax person and see if they all need different numbers. Y'all got anything else?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Alexis.
I know. I was just gonna say I had a business before my notary business, and I just kind of separated the two. That's just what I did. I didn't try to merge them because they were two completely different realms. I didn't even think you could, or that's just me personally, my thought process. I didn't even think about it. So yeah, I would just talk to someone, corporate into another business. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to really answer that. I would talk to someone and see like what would be the benefits of doing that. And if you
if you're doing a notary business and now you want to sell tacos, I mean, how do you merge those two together?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. Right. Or if you decide I'm gonna do. So I had go ahead, Angela.
I had a business. I had another business before I started doing notary business, and my other business was I was a virtual assistant. I worked for this guy for like 20 years, doing all of his claims and stuff, and mostly administrative work, and so I did that as a virtual business. So when I talked to my tax preparer about starting a notary business, he told me not to start another business. He said do my notary business as a DBA because it still had to do with office work and that sort. So Kim was right. Talk to your tax preparer because he does my taxes. He knew what he was talking about for me. So I just did my mobile notary as I have AJ Executive Services, and I also have doing business DBA AJ Mobile Notary because it kind of all goes together. So everything goes together. It's the same account. My clerical information, somebody asked me to do. If an attorney calls me and say, "Can you prepare this document?" I put it all into the same business because it's all really administrative work. That's for me.
Very good. All right. So Ms. Dorisa says, do you all have a business license for your home business? I'm in DeKalb, Georgia, so I need to find out. So I do, Dorisa. I'm in Gwinnett County. I always believe in having all my I's dotted and my T's crossed, and I do have a business license. Why? Because when I have people coming out here to my home and they get notarizations, if I get a crazy neighbor that says, you know what, I don't like all those cars over there. Well, Gwinnett County says that I can do this. So I put all my stuff, or if I decide I'm going to call Gwinnett County on them because they doing something I don't like, I don't want them to come back on me for me and my business. So my business is registered in the state. They do know that I have it. So yes, I do have a business license. And it only cost me like $80 or something.
Yeah.
So I believe in dotting everything.
Yeah.
Alexis and Angela?
I have a business license too. I have one also in Gwinnett County.
You got one, Alexis?
Yeah, I do. I'm in Douglas County. I do have one. Just like Kimmi was saying, depending on your neighborhood, my neighbors are kind of nosy. And you see a lot of people pulling up often. People, depending on the person, they'll call any different little thing. So that is something odd. Somebody seeing different cars every single day, multiple times a day. So I did definitely get one. Like Kimmi said, to cover me if something ever happens. If somebody come knocking on my door, I can show I have a business license. It's okay to have this address.
Right. And she likes the shop. Says she came across a business plan.
Not immediate.
Oh, go ahead, Angela. It's a little lag on your side for some reason. What were you saying?
I was just going to say my immediate neighbors, my next on both sides. I did let them know what I was doing, that I have a notary business and people may be coming up. And I did that as a courtesy for my neighbors because, like Alexis had a good point. If strange cars coming up and all this stuff, I'm like, they may be like, is she doing something else? What she ain't got no business doing? And so even my neighbors, I've used both of them as witnesses. And so I let them know before what was going on, so they would know it.
So they get to make some money.
And one of my neighbors was like, she was like, if you ever need a witness, just call me if you see my car in the yard. So
that's so funny.
That's so nice.
Well, a couple more things, guys. We got to get to some of these questions here. So she likes to shop, says she got a business plan, and she was asking about that because she got a call from the Women's Small Business Association. Cool. What do they want with you? We might not get to it this week, I'm sure, but maybe let us know next week if that's something you can share with the notary community if we need to do something too. Angela says she did a POA to a nursing home and gave out business cards, and they have 8 facilities. Go ahead, Angela. And she said that they say they'll give her a call if they have any more business. That sounds like our Angela. Get that. That's very good, Angela. We are very proud of you,
girl.
Yes. And Marilyn says she enjoys listening to us. She has a full-time job, but became a loan signing agent last November, but haven't started anything yet, just still reading about it. But as always, it's interesting to learn. Yeah, just take your time. Curtis says he's going to get the ebook. Yes. And this is a good point for me to tell y'all. I am so excited to announce the book is now in paperback. Start your notary business today. It's not that complicated. And you see, it's not that big, right?
It's not.
Quick read, but it's finally in paperback. So many of you have asked me, and it's finally in paperback. So it's a nice little section in the back with some notes. You can carry it with you, write all your notes right there.
I love that.
I'm very pleased to announce that. Okay. So let's answer some more questions here. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. She likes the flower. Let's see here. So for apostille couriers, usually how much do they charge? They live 30 minutes from the office in Georgia. Hey, Cece. So, I mean, that's going to be up to the person. I have never paid a courier yet. I would be willing to pay someone $50 though, if I just didn't want to go. And you got to look at it like this. How much does one person want to pay you? They're not going to pay you $100, but is it worth $50 for you to drive it there and you're 30 minutes away? I think so. All you got to do is drop it off and go home. $50 an hour. I think that's some good money. So Linda says, that's me, Alexis, scared of loan signing. However, definitely going to get feet wet in general notary as soon as the stamps come. Very good. And already looking for a space in the church to advertise and leave business cards. Cool. Yep. And Marilyn says, thank you. We're such a blessing. It's our pleasure. Yeah. Oh, DJS says she did her first I-9 for an online company. It was sweet and the money was great. And for those of you who do not know how to complete an I-9, I do have a free video about the I-9, but also I have my class, my online course that teaches you how to complete the I-9 in all aspects. Okay. If you're in California, you cannot complete the I-9. If you're in Texas, you cannot, but everybody else can. Okay. Linda says, I have to say, if it wasn't for my YouTube channel, her notary business wouldn't have gone forward with the commission. Been glued to YouTube for the last couple of weeks. Good. Yes. Yeah. She likes to shop and keep it legal. Yep. Keep it legal. North Carolina's in the house. Let's see. Tawana says, I'm going to sign up for the A to Z class on Saturday. Can't wait. Welcome. We'll be looking for you. And then Devonna says, my son and I have a one-on-one training with Angela tomorrow. Kimmi, are you joining? AKA stands for Angela, Kimmi, and Alexis. No, I love it.
I
like that.
You guys are awesome.
No, Devonna, it's going to be me, you, and Ladrell.
I don't know. I might make a special appearance now that you're asking me to. Let me know what time it is, Angela. I might pop in. Are you doing it live or on Zoom? Are you doing it live in person or Zoom?
Zoom. On Zoom.
Oh yeah, send me a link. I'll come and join and say hi. So I love that AKA though. I love that. So she likes to shop. Says she's glad she found us. Looking forward to partnering with us for training. And thanks for all the encouragement. It is our pleasure. So what do you do what does it say? What call do I need to learn all the documents when you get as a general notary?
Class.
Is that class? Oh, class. I see. Oh,
yeah.
The general notary class would be basically the A to Z class. Notary basics A to Z. We go over how to start that. Yes, thank you. I lost my mommy last month.
Yeah, but tell her, Kim.
Oh, go ahead, Angela.
Kim. Go ahead. I was going to tell. We don't teach documents. We don't teach documents. We teach you how to be a great notary so you can notarize any document.
Yes. Very good. Yep. Thank you, Angela. And check it out at notaryeducatorsllc.com. Okay. And thank you again about my mom, Miss Joseph, and everyone. Yep. She's in my fingerprinting. Thank you, Debbie. Let's see who else we got. Down South Notary. Do you charge add-ons for additional certificates, fingerprint, gold seal, embosser? I do not nickel and dime my clients. I do not. If I do a gold seal with the embosser, it just makes it adds value. It makes them feel valuable, the client too. Fingerprint, I do charge for additional cards. That's the only thing I do charge extra. You ladies, what do you do?
Same.
Yeah. Oh, same thing.
Yeah, so I just charge extra for fingerprint cards.
I like Kim. Remember what? Am I lagging?
Yes.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Like Kim said, you get when you get the call, you ask questions. When you ask all your questions, you give a fee. So it's not like you're gonna have a breakdown and tell the person it's this for that for that. Some states do that because they can charge $10 or $15 per stamp. But if you're in like a state like Georgia or certain states where you can charge a travel fee, you ask the questions and you give them a fee, and that's it, really.
So like Angela was saying, questions equal money. The more questions you ask, so I get all the money on the front end, and then for the only thing I actually charge more for is my fingerprint cards. I give 2 free, and then after that, it's a fee per additional card. That might be $5, it might be $10, usually around the $5 mark. Again, I don't nickel and dime. I don't charge for everything. I don't charge for credit card processing. All of that's included in my one big lump sum fee at the beginning. Because if you're telling a person, okay, it's $5 for the embosser, it's $5 for an acknowledgement, it's $2 for credit card processing, $5 because I looked at you, $10 because I said hello, they're not going to do business with you. They're just not. So one flat rate, that's how we roll. Okay? Don't try to get all the money. You will not get all the people. Okay? So let's go. We're going to get a few more of these questions because we are over time, but y'all know I got to keep going. So Cuttlebug says, I like that little name too. Is an LLC the same as a business license? It is not. The LLC is a structure, and business license lets you operate in your county or state. And she likes to shop. Fearless Warriors, yes. How do you go about getting a business license? Go to your county where you live at and see what their requirements are. Linda's been waiting on the paperback book. Yes, it is out. Yes, thank you guys. Congrats. Just to show you one more time. It's a paperback. I'm so excited about that. Can you be? Thank you, ladies. Can you be in a different state, Angela? If so, you can be my registered agent. I don't know.
You're usually in the same state unless you're like, and usually in the same state unless you're like a state like Delaware and I think it's Connecticut, but you should be in the same state at least.
So Danielle says she was on a phone call, but how can she talk to us? I was gonna bring you on the stage, Danielle. Let me know if you want to come right quick. I'll let you come. That'll be the first time we do that. So Kimmi said you called me back and I've been trying to get you. Kimmi, you called me and I've been trying to get you. Oh, I don't recall that. As Hillard, send me another message over on notaryeducatorsllc.com, okay? And it'd be my pleasure to call you. Notary Educators LLC. Fill out the contact card. And Danielle says, I just put it in there again, Marilyn. It's Notary Educators LLC.com. And then Danielle says the client is a friend, a sweet older lady that owns a daycare. She wanted a potential employee fingerprinted. She thought I could send the cards where they have to go. We did not know where they go. Yeah, so again, that's on her. She need to send it wherever it goes. With ink fingerprinting, you do it. You want to come on stage? Okay, hold on.
I would say who's asking for it. If whoever's asking for it, just get the contact information.
Okay, here, I'm letting you come on, Danielle. Just copy that and click the link or something. And after Danielle, we're going to wrap it up. Let's see what she want to talk about live. Come on. Let's see how this goes. We might start inviting people up on the stage. All right, we're waiting on Danielle. So while we're waiting on Danielle, we have our April classes that are listed. So you can start looking at the Notary Educators, the basic class, A to Z, the long signing class. Alexis is available for Google My Business to help you with that. Let's see, Danielle, you gonna come up? Let's see. So like I said, April classes are up. Nothing else I had. You guys got anything else while we wait? And see if she's coming. Oh, here she is. Hold on.
Okay, perfect.
Hold on. Bringing you up on stage. Hey, Danielle. I love that yellow. You know that yellow. You want to show that yellow off.
Hi.
How you doing? Welcome to Notary Educators.
I love y'all.
You are so sweet. What you want to talk about, girl?
Okay, so I know y'all out of time, but I was just trying to explain about the lady. She's an older lady. She didn't know where the cars go.
Oh, so she called you for the ink fingerprinting.
Yeah, I did the fingerprinting, and I asked her. I called on the phone because she wasn't at the daycare center. I said, "Where do you want me to?" Yeah, I said, "What do you want me to do with the cards?" She said, "I don't know. What do you do with them?"
So normally they know where the card goes. I mean, I've never had anyone even ask me where to send the card. Because like they're traveling, so they know they have to put it in the envelope with their passport, maybe.
Me either.
Or for the school, I don't know. So I really don't know. Do she have to just keep it on file at the school in case something happens? You know, I don't know what she would do with that.
Well, because it's a daycare center, I want her to check him out because he made me nervous.
Oh.
And it's a daycare center, and I love her, and I don't want her to have no shady people around her, them babies.
Now, I don't know if she could take it to the police station and let them run a background check on him. I don't know what she would do with it. Because, again, we are only there to identify the person, to do our part of the job. As far as what they do with it afterwards, we are not the fingerprint police. We are not the notary police. You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
I would say do some research as far as who she can send it to get the fingerprints ran. Because I'm understanding what's going on.
Is she doing a background check on him?
Sound like it.
Yeah.
She wants to do all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sound like she needs to go to the police. Call the police and say, "Hey, I got a fingerprint on somebody I'm having work with some children. Can y'all tell me about their background?"
I told her to send his behind to Ident-Co.
So again, I don't know what their process is. You know what I mean? I don't know what their process is. So
because they're going to do the whole thing. They can send it off and all of that. I chalked that up to experience. I didn't get a dime. It's okay. But yeah, he needs to be.
Down South Notary says it goes through the FBI.
Now that's probably if they go to
Down South Notary says it goes through the FBI through the state.
Yeah, if it goes through the Chandler and all that go through the FBI. So that might be her route. She might have to pay more money, you know, but
she doesn't care about that.
The kitties. Yeah, to protect the children, you pay whatever you have to. Yeah. So I hope that helps. And since we brought Miss Daniela,
it did help y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, let us know, guys, if this is something you want to do. You want to be able to come on the platform. We'll only require that you have your picture there before we let you on. But if this is something you guys are enjoying, let me know. We can have a few you come up at a time and ask your questions live. We would love that. Let me know.
And I referred my notary friends to y'all too.
Oh, thank you, girl. We appreciate it. Well, I love all that yellow and gray. You know we do. So we'll see you next time, though. You just let us know when you want to come back up, okay?
Okay. Thank y'all so much.
Later.
Okay. Have a good night.
Have a good evening.
Okay. Bye, Miss Danielle. So let me answer this one more question here. How do you charge for I-9? With the I-9, I just charge a travel fee because it's not too much involved. It's all encompassed under travel fee. So if I do the electronic one, I might charge $10 more. So for me in my area, and it's going to depend on where you are, I usually charge about $45, $50. If I had to travel to them, it depends, you know, so all that. But it starts around the $45 mark. And again, even if their company is reimbursing them for the fee, if you try to charge $75, most companies know the average rate is about $45, $50. So you don't try it.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Let me just make sure. Is there anything else here that we need to really hit it?
Well, Erica has a question. Erica has a question.
Yeah. Go ahead, Angela. You can ask.
When is the last day to sign up for Saturday's class? Erica has a question. When is the last day? When is the last day to sign up for Saturday's class? Erica, we would appreciate if you try to do it by Friday afternoon so we can send you whatever you need for the class.
Okay. So Dorisa said she loved the show. She loved those wedding colors. Her wedding colors were gray, yellow. So that's her favorite. Me too, girl. Makes you just feel good. Well, let me know, guys, in the chat. Again, if this is something that you guys would like to do, come on the stage with us. I will welcome it. We'll make it happen. I'll put the link in there. The only requirement is going to be you must have a picture in the little framey thing there so we can see who you are. Make sure we don't have any spammers. And we'll bring you up on stage so you can ask your questions live, okay? So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I am Kimmi from Notary Life with Kimmi, along with Angela and Alexis. They can say their goodbyes. I'm going to say bye. Angela, you want to say something? Alexis?
You all were awesome tonight.
Good night, you guys. It's been amazing again. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, guys. So we'll see y'all next week. Until next time.
Have a good week.
Thank you again for listening to the Notary Life with Kimmi podcast. We would love to be a part of your notary journey. Please visit us at notaryeducatorsllc.com for all of your notary training needs. Also, please feel free to join the Notary Life with Kimmi YouTube channel, where Kimmi has over 400 videos that will help you to grow and build a successful notary business. Until the next episode, we wish you much success on your journey. Bye.